What if I told you that some of the most expensive coffee in the world does not come from modern farms or advanced technology, but from ancient mountains where coffee has been grown for over 500 years? This is Yemeni coffee, often called the liquid gold of the Middle East. It is rare, it is complex, and it can cost 3 to 5 times more than your average specialty coffee. But why? Why is Yemeni coffee so expensive, and is it actually worth it? To understand the price, we need to go beyond the cup, because Yemeni coffee is not just a drink, it is history, geography, culture, and economics, all combined into one. Long before coffee became a global obsession, Yemen was at the center of it all. Back in the 15th century, Yemen became the first country to cultivate coffee on a commercial scale. Beans were grown in the highlands and exported through the ancient port of Mocha. Yes, that is exactly where the word mocha comes from. For centuries, Yemen controlled the global coffee trade. In fact, they were so protective of their coffee that they would boil the beans before exporting them, making sure no one else could plant them. So when you drink Yemeni coffee, you are tasting something deeply connected to the origin story of coffee itself. Now let's talk about where it is grown, because this is where things get intense. Yemeni coffee is cultivated in mountainous regions, often at elevations between 1,500 and 2,500 meters above sea level. But unlike modern coffee farms, these are not easy to access. Farmers grow coffee on steep, rocky terraces carved into mountains by hand, sometimes built generations ago. There is no large-scale machinery. There is very limited irrigation, and almost everything is done manually. Rainfall is scarce, so farmers rely on natural rainfall or ancient water systems. This makes harvests unpredictable and often smaller than in other countries. In simple terms, Yemeni coffee is extremely difficult to grow, and that difficulty directly impacts the price. Now let's look at the economics behind it. Globally, coffee production is dominated by countries like Brazil, Vietnam, and Colombia. These countries produce millions of bags of coffee every year. Yemen produces only a tiny fraction of that. We are talking about one of the smallest coffee outputs in the world. But at the same time, demand is rising. In the specialty coffee scene, people are constantly searching for unique flavors, rare origins, and authentic stories. Yemeni coffee offers all of that. So what happens when you have extremely low supply and increasing global demand? Prices go up. But growing the coffee is only part of the story. Processing Yemeni coffee is another reason why it is so expensive. In Yemen, coffee is traditionally dry processed. This means that after harvesting, the coffee cherries are laid out under the sun to dry, often on rooftops or open terraces. There are no advanced machines or automated systems. Farmers carefully sort the cherries by hand. They turn them regularly to ensure even drying, and they monitor them over several weeks. This process requires time, skill, and constant attention. But it also creates the bold, rich, and complex flavor that Yemeni coffee is known for. Everything is done manually, and that adds to the cost. Now, here is something most people do not think about. Logistics. Yemen has faced years of political instability and conflict. This affects every stage of coffee production and export. Transporting coffee from remote mountain farms is already difficult, but exporting it internationally is even more challenging. Shipping routes are limited, infrastructure is not always reliable, and supply chains can be disrupted. All of this makes Yemeni coffee harder to access and more expensive to bring to the global market. But to truly understand Yemeni coffee, you have to go beyond how it is grown or processed. You have to look at how it is experienced. In Yemen, coffee is not just about energy or productivity. It is deeply connected to culture, hospitality, and daily life. Serving coffee is a gesture of welcome. When guests arrive, coffee is often one of the first things offered. It is a sign of respect, generosity, and connection. And unlike the fast-paced coffee culture we see in many parts of the world today, drinking coffee in Yemen is slow and intentional. It is not something you grab on the way to work. It is something you sit with. Conversations happen around it. Stories are shared. Time feels like it moves a little differently. One traditional drink that reflects this culture is called kishur. Instead of roasted coffee beans, kishur is made from dried coffee husks. These are brewed with spices such as ginger and sometimes cardamom. The result is a light tea-like drink that is warm, aromatic, and comforting. It is often enjoyed after meals, helping with digestion while still carrying the essence of coffee. This shows something important. In Yemen, coffee is not just one thing. It exists in different forms, each with its own purpose and meaning. Even the way coffee is served adds to the experience. Small cups are often used, and servings are modest. This encourages people to slow down and appreciate each sip rather than rushing through it. There is also a strong sense of ritual. From preparing the coffee to serving it, every step feels deliberate. And when you take all of this into account, you start to understand something deeper. The value of Yemeni coffee is not just in its rarity or flavor. It is in the experience it creates. It invites you to slow down, to be present, and to appreciate the moment. And in today's fast-moving world, that alone can feel incredibly valuable. Now, let's take that experience even further, because one of the best ways to truly appreciate Yemeni coffee is through pairing. What you eat alongside it can completely change how the flavors are perceived. Yemeni coffee is known for being bold, complex, and layered. So the goal with pairing is not to overpower it, but to complement and enhance those natural characteristics. One of the most traditional pairings is dates. Dates are naturally sweet, soft, and rich, with flavors that often resemble caramel or dried fruit. When paired with Yemeni coffee, they create a perfect balance. The sweetness of the dates softens the intensity of the coffee, while also bringing out its natural notes of raisins and chocolate. It is simple, but incredibly satisfying. Another classic pairing is honey-based desserts. Light pastries, sweetened with honey, work beautifully because they echo the coffee's natural warmth and depth, without being too heavy. The honey adds a gentle sweetness that blends smoothly with the coffee's flavor profile. Nuts are another excellent option. Almonds, pistachios, or even walnuts provide a subtle, earthy contrast. Their texture adds a slight crunch, while their mild flavor allows the coffee to remain the star of the experience. If you prefer something more indulgent, dark chocolate is one of the best modern pairings. The bitterness of dark chocolate mirrors the intensity of Yemeni coffee, creating a rich and layered combination. As both melt together on your palate, you begin to notice deeper notes that might otherwise go unnoticed. For those who enjoy experimenting, even spiced desserts can work well. Flavors like cinnamon or cardamom can highlight similar spice notes already present in the coffee. But here is the key: keep the pairing simple. Yemeni coffee already has a strong and complex personality. The goal is to support it, not compete with it. When done right, pairing turns a simple cup of coffee into a full sensory experience. You are not just tasting coffee anymore, you are exploring layers of flavor, texture, and aroma all at once. And that is where Yemeni coffee truly shines. So with all that effort, what do you actually get in the cup? Yemeni coffee is known for its bold and distinctive flavor profile. Instead of bright citrus notes, you often get deeper, richer flavors. You might taste dark chocolate, dried fruits like raisins or dates, and warm spices such as cinnamon or cardamom. Sometimes, it even has a wine-like richness that makes it feel completely different from other coffees. It is intense, layered, and memorable, and for many coffee lovers, that uniqueness alone makes it worth the price. So, is Yemeni coffee actually worth it? The honest answer is, it depends. If you are looking for an affordable daily coffee, this might not be the best choice. But if you value rare origins, rich history, and unique flavors, Yemeni coffee offers something truly special. You are not just paying for a drink. You are paying for craftsmanship, tradition, and the resilience of farmers who continue to produce coffee under some of the most challenging conditions in the world. Yemeni coffee is not expensive by accident. It is the result of extreme growing conditions, limited supply, manual labor, and real-world challenges that most coffee producers do not face. All of that comes together in a single cup. So the next time you see Yemeni coffee on a menu, you will know exactly why it is priced the way it is. And maybe, just maybe, you will want to taste a piece of coffee history for yourself. Have you ever tried Yemeni coffee? Would you pay more for a cup like this? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe for more coffee stories from around the world.